It says we're live.
Yeah, we're live. Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, world.
Hmm.
No, not really. It's pretty shit.
Yes.
I can't say I bullshit.
Where do we start? Where do we start? Yeah, can't help but saying, first of all, Liverpool are a decent side. Their quality was again shown pretty well, particularly in the second half. I thought the first half, I thought the first half for us wasn't too bad. Of course, the penalty might have changed things if it had stayed. But looking at the replay, the referee, I think, on the basis of the law and use of VAR effectively made the right decision. As annoying as it is, the ref did his job at the end of the day. And then in that second, and even if we came forward looking okay coming forward, particularly in that first half, and a good few chances, a good all right number of chances. With it, particularly Adama when he floated it, thought he was going to smash it in. I think he did, but it just got a bit too much curve on it and made it almost look towards a cross. As well as then a couple of other moments when Cody's bringing it down in the box, and the defender doing a terrific job for Fabinho, actually the defensive midfielder. But second half, Liverpool turned the screw, showed their quality, and we just couldn't react. And it's almost like one knockout blow after another. Of course, it didn't help with, and of course, Codes will probably be feeling it for today, and for probably for a good few days. He'll want to forget that one in a hurry, because he was sadly the architect of the first goal. With it being a rare mistake from the captain and from a boyhood Liverpool fan himself. So yeah, not really a good one. Hopefully we can put this one out of our systems quite quick. And at least so in some good news, Raul is out of hospital, and is I think he is back, or he's heading back, or is back at home tonight. So that's one really good bit of news that and number 9 is recovering.
He's
Obviously,
back
still
home
no.
and watching us live. Aren't
Yes,
you, Raul?
indeed. Just like the
Probably.
2000 who were at Anfield. I say it was much better being able to turn off the stadium sound, to being able to turn off the fake crowd and hearing actual noise from the ground. As I say, fingers crossed, Wolves won't be too long until that
Was
can
it
occur.
that great though? Because those wanky Wanderers chants really cut through the
Uh,
audio. So
Well, it's a typical one of those kind of. It's typical, isn't it? They obviously know our chants to them, which will not repeat on air, which are quite typical and quite nasty towards Liverpool. Which I have to say is a good city, though. Just putting it out there. But it's
don't tell that to Bod.
I tell you what, Liverpool is a good night out. It genuinely is a good night out.
It's a cracking city. I've been up there a few times.
I can't deal with the accent. But the night out is nice.
And having stewarded at Anfield actually last year for Pink's concert, whilst in summer of last year and before then the Masters that didn't quite work out. It has a terrific vibe to it. And
everything's just coming up Liverpool today, then, isn't it, guys?
Yeah.
It's a great city.
Well,
to
be honest,
football club.
I having watched that on Liverpool TV. I mean Amazon. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Which was by far the most biased commentary I've ever heard. It was frankly embarrassing to listen to, which doesn't help when your team's not really playing very well. It was, oh God, honestly, I could have thrown something at the telly. Some of the comments coming out. See why Clive Tildesley lost his job?
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really painful. Anyway, in terms of the match itself,
it was a rough second half. It was just
it was
rough.
Okay. Yeah, it was. Well, we didn't seem to turn up for the second half. I mean, it showed. I mean, what annoys me is yes. I mean, it showed to me that they've got a better team for counter-attacking than we have.
And they should with the players they have.
Which they should, yes. However, we did kind of make it a little easy for them, I think.
In that second half, yes, particularly.
Didn't show up, I don't think.
Yeah, it was just out of sorts, and it's just one of those things where you knew exactly what the next 45 minutes was going to be when it started to unfold, and it hurt certainly. But as far as the first half, I was pleased with it. I didn't think it was a penalty at all for Cody. I thought props to him for trying to win one back. What was that?
He was lucky as well in the rules of the game not to get a yellow card as well, because I think yellow cards have been given for that when they've been overturned in the recent past.
Well, they should have both had one then, because
yes,
Podence though with that cheeky little chip, that was going in, so that would have been a 1-1 affair going into half probably, and
I was a little disappointed to see Podence being substituted.
Yeah, when the substitutes came in, you really knew that it was over. You knew that it was that's that. Like everybody that should stay on was off. So
although I think it was it Nori who came off for him, or came on for him. Yeah, it would. And actually, Eight Nori actually was able to get forward and obviously had that shot, which was nice. So it
was very. I like him. It was powerful. It wasn't.
I have to say, I just thought the wrong midfielder went off. Again.
But bring it off Neves, yes.
Because out of the three, I thought he was the best of the three.
In my opinion, Neves should have as many Premier League minutes as Cody. Like, he's just indispensable to me. So
yeah, I tend to agree. I genuinely didn't think. He should have been brought off. I didn't think Coutinho did much, and I thought Dendoncker ran around a lot. I think he's probably the best compliment I can give him.
He had 3 or 4 chances. He had 3 or 4 chances as well.
It wasn't just running around. He was there, but he's not a finisher.
Yeah, he had chances, but just didn't take them. Simple as that. And on another day, that could have helped. It could and should have helped. The weakness of his headers, particularly, where the weakness of Dendoncker's headers, he's one of the tallest guys in the team. He's going to be doing much better than that in those circumstances. Whether the one when we were, I think, 1-0 down or 2-0 down, or the one we were 4-0 down, they were still chances and fairly decent chances. And the shot he took was diabolical. He should have never have hit it. Should have absolutely never have hit it. If he'd had full power on that, probably would have gone to Rose Edge.
Yeah, that was Siggy-esque, I believe. It at least didn't go out for a throw, but it was.
Well, for me, I thought really there's 2 players who came out looking okay. Traore was one, because I actually thought he played pretty well and was doing pretty much most of the attack, but obviously not having a real focal point. The problem is if Podence is playing like a false 9, we kind of got to adjust for that. And it seemed on a couple of occasions where we would kind of go down to the byline looking to put the cross into the middle, but we haven't got a player there to do that. Is it? I don't know. I don't know what it was. They just seemed really, really off.
It's always going to be a challenge right now when you're
when we're reflecting after
when your striker's out. Like we don't have a replacement. We have a replacement at every other position that we can do with, except for keeper, I would say. But it's a very different team.
You're very right. I actually don't think Rui was too bad. He did what he needed to do, and obviously the goals. What can you really do in the circumstance, particularly when Alden's strike, which was a corker, I must say, on the edge of the box, curl it right into that posted stump of the top corner. Absolutely no goalkeeper in the world would be able to save that. Who was the other player you were thinking of in terms of who came out well?
Marcel. I thought he actually looked decent throughout. He was the only one of the defenders that I thought came away with any credit. I thought all the other 3 really had complete stinkers of games.
I don't think Semedo was too bad in the first half. Obviously, the second half was disappointing on all fronts. But I do think some people do need to seriously consider why they're why you're being so critical to Nelson. Still remember, this is like our 9th or 10th game in, for goodness sake. He came from Barcelona, and for folks to be slagging him off because of every single mistake, quite frankly, isn't on.
All players make mistakes. I think the problem I mean, the one goal where he's been slated for being out of position, he had just been involved in an attack, which then leads me to think, well, what was the covering defensive midfield position, or the midfielder who should be sitting at that point in a 4-3-3? Where was he?
Yeah.
I don't know which defender or which midfielder it was, but you would have thought someone would be slotting in there if he's gone off and on an attack. It just seemed. And the thing is, there was lots. And the thing I did notice, which was disappointing, was a lot of under-hit passes again. We've seen this before in certain games, and it just seems as it's just like, I don't know what it is, but they just kind of start under-hitting passes, like real proper, just awful under-hit, rolling along the ground, barely getting to the player, putting people in, which puts the player receiving it under pressure.
Yeah.
Is it so bad that it's giving you a migraine, David?
Yes. Yes, it has.
I know that face.
Yeah, I've got quite a headache.
That's yeah, it sucks today. What can you do?
No,
I mean, that's my hot take and my recap. Everything.
I was going to ask what hot takes we were thinking. Yes.
No hot takes. Just glad, as we discussed, that Jota didn't make it a 5-star beatdown. That would have been too much. So
yeah, if Diego would have scored, I probably would have switched it off there and then. But thankfully, he was, I think, modestly limited to what chances he could have. So that was one small positive that he didn't start, actually. Because if he'd started, then, well, Liverpool being Liverpool and then being ruthless as they were shown on their day, it could have been even worse.
I'm sorry, but I just don't think they were that good.
I
really didn't. I just thought we made it very easy for them. I think if we played anywhere near to our potential and up tempo and general concentration levels, I don't think that result would have happened. I genuinely don't. I just all
because it's saying that first half.
I don't know what it was that happened, but I genuinely didn't think that.
The
breakaway plays great. That's it. I don't think the rest of it's particularly good. And they've got a makeshift defence. They've got a lot of youngsters in there. We didn't press them or push them particularly. We just seemed to. I think I commented. I thought it looked like we were playing a practice game for a bit of fitness,
without them fully realising it's the champions of England and the champions of Europe the season before that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if they are on an off game and can still put 4 past us, like that just means that Liverpool, when they're not at their best, are still
very, very
the top
good
team in the Premier League.
Absolutely, but as I said, if you make it easy for them, if you give them chances in the box with their first choice strikers, which were playing, well, of course they're going to score.
Have we ever been given that treatment from them though? I don't know that I can remember Firmino, Salah, and Sane starting at the same time against us.
I think they are. Yeah.
I don't know. Do you remember, Cash, off the top of your head?
I'm pretty sure they did the Christmas game.
Which was that December 2018 at Molyneux on a Friday night, I think. Or Monday night or what? No, that was a Thursday night actually. I seem to remember. Yeah, I think that was the case. Yes, and then Salah was clinical that particular evening and whatever.
He's top scorer every season. That's fair enough.
He is, yeah.
But
he's all right. He'd look good in old goal day.
He will. Well, the one small positive, he's done a job for Fantasy League tonight with a goal and assist, but helps save my weekend on that basis. But
well, we've only got 1 month until we get Ronaldo in, so I think that he's got a very similar game to Raul. He's almost up to Raul's level.
Although maybe Chuck is back. Although maybe the post-Brexit stuff, which was confirmed, particularly for under-18s last week, was the under-23s, is maybe throw a spanner in the works, knowing it's going to be this point system and all that.
I think Ronaldo would get them.
I think he'd be fine considering he's played in England before. Yes.
I think he can prove. I think he can prove that he's played enough internationals and is of a standard to be able to.
Oh yes. But I know. But still, maybe my hot take is that with the uncertainty in the world and the financial pressures on other clubs, that we will go in for an absolutely massive player in January. I don't know where, don't know what position, but seeing that others are, particularly across Europe, are needing money, and that we have it, thankfully, thanks to deep pockets owners who are committed to the football club for as long, for however long. I think we could maybe spring a surprise. I don't know who.
I'll be honest, I don't think we will.
Okay.
I genuinely don't think we will. I think we'll get someone probably I think we'll get someone on loan, and we'll wait to see whether Raul does come back. I think that's what will happen more likely. I like the idea. Someone suggested, what was the old Mandzukic? Was it?
Mario Mandzukic.
Someone suggested him because he was available on a free. And I was thinking, well, that might be a nice person to have come on play Silver. Someone like Mandzukic he can learn off, and then play Silver for 60 minutes of the game. Bring Mandzukic on later.
Yeah, he's 34. He's currently at he's at a Qatari club called Al Duali. And as you say,
it's not him, but you know what I mean. That sort of player, some old master for Silver to learn off while Raul's getting fit, and they're not.
Someone even like a Zlatan. Someone like him or Zlatan. Zlatan's like 30. Zlatan's 36, 37, but still doing it. He's menace in front of goal. I think as you say,
just such a douche.
Particularly saying and him saying he didn't hit Zlatan. Zlatan hits whatever. It's all
anybody that walks around and says that they are a god, or he's probably dropped the A by now. He just says I am God. Like that's the crap he was saying when he was in the MLS. So
yeah, we're gonna need something like that though, I think, going forward. Particularly
people referring themselves in the third party is always a
to help Fabio going forward. I think, as I say, I still think Raul, because of his injury, he's going to be out for quite some time, and obviously who knows how long that will be. So it's just a bit of a it will be interesting to see if we do go in for someone and if it is a striker, which I think we would, knowing that we've only got in reality only one recognised senior striker, then we're going to have to. It will be fascinating to see who next month. I can't believe the transfer window is coming back round close already.
Bring back Talisca.
Talisca.
Or maybe one of the guys, maybe promote one of the youngsters, Corbinu, whatever his name is, or who's in the US's under 21 squad now. So someone who people are beginning to rate a bit. And obviously still
some of these American youngsters, by the way, they are like Weston McKinney and Sargent over in I forget where he's at, but and obviously Pulisic. These are some sprightly little players that are coming up. So
yeah, well, Corbainu's done rather well, and that are in Premier League 2 in the north, in Premier League 2, the Northern Division or whatever it is. We are, I think we're third, if I saw correctly, on the table. The lads are doing pretty decent. The lads have gotten to a good stride within the under 18 structure, which is rather nice, and again rather encouraging that we have. The investment.
I will flip out if we get an American in. So, who was the last American?
So,
the under 18s north. The Premier League under 18s north with the lads of third, 3 points off the top with a game in hand. We're on 21 points. Man United on 24. Liverpool on 21.
So who would you respect? Who would you then recommend then, Alex?
Obviously Pulisic, but that's not doable. But if you could get Weston McKinney, he's fire. I think Josh Sargent's a good striking option, but I just don't think he would be ready. I mean, we're just dreaming anyway, because these guys are all going to be either too much money or not the right fit. But I really like Weston McKinney. I think he's just a very smooth player. Him and Pulisic will have some good link up play. And the U.S. won the World Cup in 2026. Deal with it. That's it. That's my hot take. U.S. World Cup champions 2026.
On home soil, the state would go ballistic. That would be quite something.
It's coming home.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm gonna write a song about
any
that.
other hot takes before man of the match or whatever?
No, this game sucked. I hated it. I was looking forward to it all weekend, and I just didn't even want to watch the second half.
Same. I was so looking forward to the Grand Prix, which was still a cracker, actually, the Formula One. Even if the Wolves fan had a small bit of heartbreak towards the end in George Russell.
I mean, it's Liverpool. You don't expect to wipe the floor with them, but you don't want to lose like that, where you give up that first chance, that you don't make them beat you, and then you just lay down and take it.
And then we just capitulate, and then we take a beating when it came to us. And it's the game. These are the games that we so much look forward to, as we've shown, obviously, particularly as fans. Because last season at Molineux against them, it was terrific. Absolutely. I couldn't watch it because I think couldn't get a ticket because they'd gone and whatever. But just watching it around in fact, a fellow councillor's house, around a councillor's house after a meeting and stuff. And it's just the atmosphere in the ground was immense, and it's these kind of nights that our fans are so up for. Which is why, hopefully, please, can we get those back into Molineux sooner rather than later?
Hey, it'll happen. It's coming.
Fingers crossed. We have to hope on the process, and hope that obviously our rates continue to drop, which they are, though. Even if the city centre was busy yesterday when going into it, which made me slightly edgy. If I was again
man of the match,
I will go Marcel. Solid enough in terms of getting him getting stuck in and doing his job, covering off quite well. His experience again coming through tonight. And yeah, keep it quite simple. Marcel doing what he needed to do, even if obviously Liverpool came forward enough for the back three to get destroyed predominantly. What about you, Bod?
Mate, I'm going for Traore, as I mentioned earlier. I think the pretty much our only outlet.
I might give it to Patricio, who kept it within 10 goals.
Well, again, he did make. In fact, it could have been a couple of more for you if another keeper was in goal. Quite frankly, he did the job he needed to do. Even if obviously for the goals,
it would have been 8 or 9 past. So
yeah,
he couldn't do anything. Obviously, like we said, on the goals scored.
As painful as to agree with you, I think that might have been the case. Yes,
we all love John,
but he's
we'll never forget.
We'll never forget Cardiff and Middlesbrough away and all that, but he is slipping as a.
I wish you guys could have been with me at Cardiff.
I was watching that in the Cavendish in Sheffield and ran out almost crying. I must admit, ran out screaming. Most of Division Street probably heard me that evening. But there we are.
I was watching it at a wedding on my phone, as were many other Wolves fans.
Wow, that's impressive.
There you go.
It's a good night. More to come.
Indeed.
So just not tonight.
Who are we on to next then? I forgot.
Any gossip or anything? Have you heard anything? Or but interesting. Clyde Tilsey mentioned apparently that some of the columns are mentioning Cody's to Liverpool. Which he's the first I've heard.
Well, he's from Liverpool and he used to be in the zoo, so we're going to do some lazy journalism and say, oh yeah, and Liverpool needs some defenders at the moment. So we're going to do some lazy. Yeah.
Just the club captain. They're just going to.
Yeah.
We're just going to
catch. Wait, if in the world circumstance they tried to come in from, I hope they try and give as much money as they did to Diogo. Considering how fairly good he's been, particularly in Europe for Liverpool this season. What else can you say? I must say, interesting actually. Just as on the Europe, we thought Real Madrid could go out the Champions League, which is in the group stage, which would be crazy.
Cheap bargain players there. Who can we raid them for?
Well, they're apparently needing about $300 million apparently needing a couple 100 million. Knowing that they're doing up the Sun.
Ground somewhere like them and Barcelona, they've been doing it for years. Masters have it.
Yeah, knowing that also that they are ramping. They have started a full-blown redevelopment or regeneration of the Bernabeu, and that's costing several hundred million. So
no tears will be shed for Real Madrid and their financial woes.
Yes, if they plunge, they plunge. What can you do? It's happened to us. It will can happen to anybody, as even demonstrated on the British high streets last week, which was brutal. And also in other news, have you seen the Europa Conference League's branding has been unveiled? It's a bit of green. It's basically some two green arches around a very similar looking trophy to the Europa League trophy. When that competition for the competition starting.
What is this? The Cup Winners' Cup,
essentially. The Europa Conference League, which some will come from league, some will come from the cups. Obviously, as we know, the League Cup spot gets it unless those in the League Cup qualify for Europa League or Champions League prior. So it's still if that does. Again, if it drops into the Premier League place, then 7th is still there for the taking, even if obviously tonight was not good. It's just obviously we need to come out biting more against a bigger size, as we did last week.
I'm not bothered by this one though. It's
even if it's a European trophy and we'd be favourite to win it.
We would, and then it would be 3 teams on the pitch in the Super Cup, and we'll see. We'll see who wins there. I'd pay to watch that. Actually, that would be amazing.
It's a nice looking trophy though, I have to say, from looking at it. Very similar. Their first final has been held in Albania's new national stadium, which looks really neat.
Oh, yeah,
it's 21,000. It's 21,000. So UEFA certainly marketing this one as I would say a much smaller competition. I can't imagine already in terms of how many, if we say got into it and then got to the finals, to the arguments of who would get to go. Those who went to Chorley in '87 being on the top of the list, as Molyneux Mixers debated many times.
I was at Chorley in here.
Yeah,
even though I was born in '87.
There was 4.8 billion people at the Chorley match.
According to every Wolves fan. Also, Palace in the cup on week within the weekend of the 8th to the 11th of Jan. At least that's at Molyneux, and maybe there'll be some fans in. Fingers crossed. Although seeing the way in which Palace played today,
against who?
Sandwell Town, thankfully.
Still remember who they played.
yes. Still though, very good result, very decent result for Palace, and at least we're not in the predicament where Sandwell Town are in. At least that's one positive we can take from tonight. We're not stuck in the mire. We're still like 12 points clear of the relegation zone.
That screw to us than Palace. So I feel better.
There's less shame in that.
Oh yeah. So. Compared to when Palace did us over 2-0 when we were fairly well, Palace executed a brilliant job on us in New Year of 19, but there we are. Next one, then.
I do have to bounce, though. So are we going to do predictions real quick?
Yeah, predictions for Villa on Saturday?
Pain. Just pain. I don't know. Who really knows what'll come of this one?
Well, it is their cup final, isn't it? Let's face it.
Yeah. I expect Grealish to be his usual beautiful self, but I'll go 2-1 Wolves in a thriller, maybe a 90th minute goal. Be a good one for Silva to get his first in. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember Jota scoring in that. Sorry,
first, I don't know that name.
Oh yes, great night that one though in the North Bank, and the place went absolute. I had a feeling for after that game, say particularly in the Championship, that 17-18 was going to be our year.
Was that Jota's first goal for us? I can't remember.
It might have been. I'm trying to remember. It has been such a.
It was definitely the one where I kind of took notice. Like not that we hadn't already, but where you started to look around.
That one, Bonatini, one of the brilliant runs, smacked it off the post, and Jota then just followed up, if I remember, and put it in beautifully. I will go. I think we will I think we'll be motivated because it's a local derby. We've done Villa over, but we did obviously the double on Villa last season. I think the strength of the squad will come through. They'll want to bounce back. I will go with a 3-1 with Silva and Neves being two of the three scorers. And I say Neves, obviously knowing that Ruben did another masterpiece against Villa last season, which was absolutely glorious to watch in the pub, just around not too far from Molineux. And
hey,
yeah,
those days are coming back. Those days are coming back.
Indeed, basically it was too late to get a ticket again. They sold out just before it got to me, which was so annoying. In terms of that's the perks of loyalty points. I think we'll bounce back 3-1, and yeah, we'll know that we'll want to bounce back and again put on another good performance, particularly for Raul, who'll be watching on from home up in Tetnall, wherever he is. Bod?
I don't know. I really don't know after that. I'd like to say
Neto.
I'd genuinely like to say we'd bounce back. I don't think we'll. I think we're a much more professional approach to all games and don't play more in a derby than we do any other game. So I don't expect like a blood and thunder type thing. I expect Villa to be like that because it is like something they're trying to prove. I don't know because we don't. I don't feel we're learning from our mistakes at the moment. I'm hoping
that's the migraine talking.
But say we do, I think we're going to win 6-0.
Oh.
Yeah, I came through at the end.
That's definitely the migraine talking.
No, we're just gonna destroy. At some point we will click and we will utterly destroy a team.
I'm all for that.
I do think that will happen. I'm just not sure it's quite yet. But I'm gonna. I'll go with my 6-0.
Fab.
And I think the goals will come from all of the front four.
Ooh, nice.
Because we will play Silva up top, we'll play 3 behind them, then 2 in midfield, and then 4 at the back. Is that enough players?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. All right, so it's a win. We don't even need to watch.
With that, it's going to be, I think, just to say, Saturday, I think I sadly won't be able to join because my mum has somewhat booked me the hair adjusters. A haircut at the time of kickoff, and then she also wants me to help her with a bit of shopping. So, yeah, what can I do? I'll have to try and catch up on the game and watch it on.
Sounds like the worst Saturday ever.
But what can I do?
But what are you going to do next week then if I'm not here either?
I think I'm going to be talking to myself.
I'd pay to watch that too.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I won't. I don't know. No, I probably will be here. I will try and cajole somebody to come on here. Maybe
there's only like what
I might just
13,000 users.
I might make some animated characters, or maybe hand puppets. What did you think?
Or you could do some sort of just single match review, which you then put up on it. Perhaps maybe a shorter video.
Just do it Smeagol style. It's perfect.
Yeah, but what can I do? And with a mother with a partially sighted mother, obviously want to help her as much as I can. So what can one do? But fingers crossed, Villa, and fingers crossed we'll hopefully have them. But I think actually as paying 25 quid a BT spot, I think I'll be able to catch up on the game somehow. So let's hope. Right.
And with that.
And on that bombshell, it's time for us to end.
I'll see you two in 2 days' time. Everybody else might just see me at my own, rambling, incoherently, not a bit like now, really.
I hope you have a migraine for it too.
All right.
Let's hope it's nothing more than a migraine. Stay safe. See you later.